Hello and welcome everyone. Today we'll go through the webinar with 5 strategies retail should adopt to fully digitize and grow business in 2021. My name is Pablo, and during 1 hour we will walk you through major tech trends and strategies you should consider implementing in 2021 to secure business growth in the future.
Hi, my name is Tim Kozak. I'm one of the solution architects here at IntellectSoft, and today I'll walk you through our most prominent projects and use cases we've built for our clients.
Today we are going to discuss industry overviews from challenges to future opportunities, case strategies retail business leaders should consider to achieve sustainable growth, IntellectSoft approach to developing a digital strategy. We have Q&A session in the end, so please put your question in the chat and we'll be answering them toward the end of the session. And also, if we won't be able to answer all questions due to the lack of time, we'll send detailed answers via mails after the webinar. Also, we'll be sharing the recording of the session with you after our webinar. Let me tell you a few words about our company. IntellectSoft was founded in 2007 and since then has grown to a digital transformation consultancy that provides cutting-edge engineering solutions for global organizations, software development services, and emerging technology solutions. Our headquarters is located in the States, and our delivery centers are located in Eastern Europe. We also have an onshore sales and consulting presence all over Western Europe and the United States. Over 14 years, IntellectSoft has built a strong customer portfolio that includes world brands from both Fortune 500 and startups that are on the way to becoming unicorns. So let's start first with the market overview, challenges, and then look what new long-term opportunities it brings for retailers. As the pandemic unfolded all over the world and lockdowns became the new normal, all this had a dramatic impact on the industry and customer behavior in particular. According to new data from IBM's US Retail Index, the pandemic has accelerated the shift away from stores to digital shopping by roughly 5 years. Department stores, as a result, are seeing significant declines. In the first quarter of 2020, department store sales declined by 25%. This grew to a 75% decline in the second quarter. In one case, for instance, the pandemic helped drive e-commerce sales up 97% in its last quarter. Target set a sales record as its same-day fulfillment services grew 273% in the quarter. Both retailers have also invested in online grocery, with Walmart today offering grocery pickup and delivery services, the latter through partners. I would like to draw your attention that COVID-19 has changed retail forever, as the industry sees the accelerated growth triggered by the pandemic as e-commerce saw 10 years grow in the 3 months. So much has changed in the industry in a short period, so let's review some of the retail industry challenges. And first will be reinventing in-store shopping. 74% of consumers are not comfortable going back to normal out-of-home activity just yet, meaning they'll be actively looking for safety measure when deciding when and where to shop. 81% of consumers do online research before committing to purchase. 89% of these customers begin their buying process with the search engine. To stay relevant with the demand, retailers must make an investment in mobile technology, such as wireless payment terminals and receipt prints. Second will be greater demand for e-commerce and omnichannel payments. Instead, consumers were forced to adopt their buying behavior from traditional in-person payments to online-driven alternatives. Merchants that had omnichannel payment strategies in place were able to adapt quickly with online storefronts, mobile ordering, and delivery. Third, we'll be optimizing the supply chain and customer service. For many retailers, COVID-19 has unexpectedly demonstrated the importance of managing critical supply chain and customer service using the right technologies. And fourth will be security and compliance. An increase in mobile technology and unattended of self-service kiosk will also create a demand for wireless infrastructure and network security. All these challenges retail business leaders and professionals have to deal with in the next future in this year. With COVID-19 accelerating digital transformation and adoption across industry verticals, the retail sector alone has invested in 3 years worth of digital transformation within a span of 6 months. Global retailers invest in various technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, cloud, augmented reality, virtual reality, big data, blockchain, and cybersecurity. As people continue to work and shop online in 2021, retailers should keep an eye on new and emerging industry trends to stay competitive. So let's have a closer look at what technologies and strategies business leaders should adopt in 2021. Artificial intelligence in distribution and retail business leaders use artificial intelligence for a few reasons. First will be artificial intelligence based inventory management system and streamlined store operations. There is an interest in inventory management system with AI based tools that not only make demand forecast accurate but also improve a retailer's ability to satisfy a customer who walks in the door, whatever physically or online. Also, retailers use AI to improve in-store experience. Artificial intelligence can automate in-store operations and reduce operational experience in retail stores. For example, Amazon has launched Amazon Go and Just Walk Out shopping technology, which respond every time a customer pick up a product from the store shelf. And also, Grocery Edge technology has also been able to cut down the cost by introducing smart shelf tags instead of paper price tags. Another use case when retailers leverage the artificial intelligence is for intelligence customer center operation and personalization. Retailers will begin to discover more ways to use AI to support their e-commerce efforts and provide better online experience for their customers. To assist with customer service, artificial intelligence solutions in retail can effortlessly improve customer engagement by building interactive chat programs. To adjust price, for instance, in a price-sensitive market like retail, AI solutions can provide valuable information for pricing strategy. Retailers can also adjust prices by seasonal trends, competitive products, and consumer demand. And to provide personalization and customer insights, AI in retail can offer a personalized shopping experience to customer and can recommend products and design promotion for them. Another way to secure sustainable business growth in e-commerce marketplaces will be nowadays e-commerce marketplace are the natural evolution of the stand-alone web store. They benefit all parties engaged in e-commerce. With marketplaces, buyer can find and complete products and check out, always staying within a single platforms. Sellers gain access to buyers they might otherwise miss. Here, I need to mention that mobile e-commerce experience, for example, from our perspective, e-commerce will account for 73% of total shopping in 2021. By 2025, the percentage of households that have smart speakers in the United States is expected to reach 75%. So how how can you adapt your marketplace to stay in game in 2021? We suggest the next steps. Optimize your website for voice search queries, offer FAQ page, update your local listing and get a Google My Business account, enhance page speed. Next one will be data analytics and cost and safety management. Store operations are now a concern for hotels, from cleanliness to reconfiguring layout for customers and employee safety. This requires financial discipline, and in 2021 we will see a focus of using data of management cost. Global retail decision makes 80% use data analytics and insight to set their experience apart from competitors. Retailers and brands that use data wisely will be able to create the kind of experience that attract and connect with visitors, earn repeat visits, and win customer loyalty. And next one, let's move on to our next way to grow your retail business, which is shopping and payment apps. Retailers and enable in-store customers to scan their items and check out using an app without the need to go through the checkout line. Sam's Club, for instance, has already achieved it across all their stores, and Walmart is implementing it in the phase. This will provide a safe and convenient experience for those who shop in their stores. Consumers will also be able to buy online, schedule pickup, and then collect their purchases in the store. The shift of shopping from mobile app will easily the checkout process in 2021. Mobile commerce is on pace to control 73% of the global e-commerce market share by 2021. For instance, over the last 6 months, 79% of mobile users made an online purchase using their mobile devices. 57% of US consumers used a mobile retail application for learn more about a product. With mobile shopping on the rise, it's no surprise that sales from smartphones will dominate in 2021 and the next years. Consumers are doing more than just browsing via apps, they are buying. And I would like to mention that advantages of payment app, credit cards will fail to second place in 2022. It will be 27%, and after digital wallets, 33%. More than 70% of surveyed consumers state that checkout experience is their biggest pain point. And digital market outlook, the mobile payments transaction volume will be rise to nearly 275 billion by 2021. Apart from being convenient, digital payments are faster. In the case of online payments, you do not have any constraint of time or location. You can easily make payments at any time from anywhere across the globe. And electronic payment system offer you multiple ways to secure your payment, such as tokenization, encryption, SSL, etc. Now your customers do not have to enter their card details every time, as they can save their card details or complete their transaction by using a one-time password. Now I will hand over the floor to my colleague Tim, who will walk you through the real-life cases of how retailers adopt technologies. Tim, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Pavel. Now let's look at the real-life use cases and how we helped some of the retail companies transform with the help of technology solutions. When I was speaking some of the cases for this webinar, I tried to cover the most interesting ones, but also cases that have different technologies and strategies behind them. So the cases will include custom hardware solutions, usage of beacons, RFID tags, and a customized Android operation system. Yeah, I think it will be really interesting for you. So let's jump into our first case. So you can see it on your screens right now. Our first use case will be about the user experience upgrade of a luxury mall. First of all, I want to give you a bit of a background. So a challenge here was to improve the user engagement during and after pandemic. Because as we know, the industries that suffered the most during the COVID are those that somehow connected to the luxury or entertainment sectors. We started this project with our discovery workshop engagement, where we identified the most effective ways how we can influence the current situation of this mall, and also planned some smaller but very handy features that may come very useful along with this big upgrade. So the first priority was to increase sales, and it was decided to first go fully online by introducing a mobile app with a complete shopping functionality, and to do it in the way that the online experience would augment the offline one. Along with it, we also added some loyalty functionality that basically work as a cashback, but the unique feature is that you can earn and spend this cashback in both online and offline stores, and the amount of the cashback is dynamic, and it depends on some parameters, and more to say, it is more personalized, and it depends on the customer previous engagements. For example, if he bought a coffee yesterday or something. Then we also had a special promo rules that are unique to this promo campaign. And of course, it also depends on if you buy online or offline. The cashback would be different. The second improvement decision that we added was to add indoor navigation. So for this, usually there is two approaches. One of them is GPS, use GPS, but in big malls, it's not the case. So we used a network of beacons that was located around the levels of the mall, and this basically gave us ability to detect a very precise location without relying on GPS signals. And the main goal of this whole infrastructure change and also this part of the app was to uncover the full potential of all stores, because some of the stores that deserve some highlights, they are located somewhere on the back of the levels. So we tried to give them full visibility, and also added ability to quickly search by multiple attributes, and easily build a route that helps navigate from your location to the store. And the last but really noteworthy feature would be integration with the parking system. This allowed app users to easily see all details about the parking session, easily find the way back to their car, and the last but not least, they can uh, effortlessly pay for the parking right from their smartphones with Google Pay or Apple Pay or with their cards. Okay, let's move to the next one. Yeah, and by the way, if you have any questions regarding the cases, maybe um, something was more interested for you, then you also can drop in a question or something into the chat. Okay, so the next one. So this project, we are very proud of it because it was built for one of the biggest European railway services, and the solution is being used on a daily basis right now. So the challenge here was to create a mobile POS point of sale solution that can stay functional, fully functional, even in very tough conditions. And also, on the other hand, it should be flexible enough to cover all required use cases. For example, among the biggest challenges was very unstable and often to no internet connection. And for this project, it means that we need to make sure that all of the information on a tablet on this POS system is always up to date and like all functions available offline. Um, and to add to this, the requirement was that the payment processing should also work offline under these conditions. So both the payments and refunds should work. And as a solution we created here was not only the POS system that is capable of all these requirements I mentioned. So we did the offline usage, the caching of all the data, the offline payments and refunds. We also created a full-fledged back office system with very rich capabilities. The most interesting one I wanted to mention here is that we created an ability to easily make a snapshot of current inventory and then edit it in any way you want. And with these capabilities, um, it opens a lot of opportunities. For example, it can be used to create a fully custom inventory version per each train route, and you can even can set a different version of inventory for the like reverse ride. And the same thing applies to like special days, for example, like a Halloween or something. You can easily, with one click, switch from one inventory to completely another one. Yeah, so this was the main thing I wanted to mention about this case. And then the last thing I want to cover today is this very heavy hardware, custom hardware solution, because it includes a lot of integrations and custom Android tablet that works together with a whole bunch of other sensors like open door sensor, different RFID antennas, and attached credit card reader. So this project is very interesting because it is basically it was required to create a new type of vending machine where the flow is different from the traditional one. Um, and in this flow, uh, if you want something, you just swipe a card. You open the fridge, take whatever you want, and that's it. We call it swipe and take flow. And I look at this project um, to something like a symphony of technologies, because every aspect and everything that is included in this tag is an integral part of the solution. So let's break it down how it works. So every item in a fridge has RFID sticker, the ones you used to see on all items in the store, and these stickers contain some information encoded into it about the product, and the fridge basically reads and loads this information at the moment any item is put on a shelf or taken away from the shelf. And each shelf basically is a huge RFID antenna that can notice any minor change in what was put or taken from the shelf. We also applied some shielding to make sure that the item signal um, is not interfering and the information is 100% accurate. So if you want to buy a snack or salad, you just swipe a card, the door would be opened, and then you can take any item or multiple items and then close the door, and that's it. Your card will be automatically charged, and the final amount will be charged, and you can enjoy a meal. Yeah, this was the last use case I wanted to mention today. And as you can see, we have a lot of experience in building digital solutions with very different technologies and approaches, from mobile apps to custom hardware. And for you, it will be, or maybe, very challenging to start a new project because it includes a lot of aspects, like starting from business flows to security constraints, compliances, tech stack, and infrastructure. But for us, it's pretty common thing to do because it's an integral part of our processes. So I thought that it would be very useful for you to know how we usually tackle a new project, and maybe it will help you in your next technological upgrade. Um, First of all, you need uh, to do all of the analysis that you can before you even start to build. So we very often help our clients to completely rebuild a solution or partially rebuild the solution because it the design decisions that was taken uh, was wrong, or the infrastructure is not keeping up with the system. By the way, we call this process a discovery workshop, and it usually is a part of the like a bigger project, but we also can do it like a standalone consultancy activity. So the main goals of this workshop are: first, you need to really study the current situation, main challenges, for example. You just really need to understand how everything works right now before you would change it. And this is the really the case for the bigger organizations, where you have a lot of different um, stakeholders and teams, and they really know their context, but they don't know the full flow and the all consequences and interconnections. And basically, you need to know the stakeholders in the processes. Next thing, the next goal is you need to build a vision of a perfect solution that would completely solve the problem. And then when you see the picture, like the ideal flow with, for example, 5 steps or 3 systems, then you would go over the technical team uh, to make a validation, to make sure that technology is ready, for example, and then often is the security constraints are involved. So then just to understand whether we can do the sequence, or can this process cover all of the requirements that technology has. The next goal is to create a complete set of business requirements that will serve as a roadmap for the future project. And of course, you need to design, at least on a high level, create a design of a system architecture and the infrastructure. And of course, you need a pretty big team of specialists that can achieve these goals and can run these activities. On our side, usually the team is structured like this. So you have a business analyst. It's a person who would run all of the interviews and later will translate the business requirements to fully technical language. A solution architect is the main person that would validate all requirements and ideas from technical standpoint. And on the later stages, he will create all of the design documents. He will create a team plan and run or manage all of the estimations. And project manager is pretty common, but very important role here. And finally, UI UX designer. This role usually, UI UX designers usually create a first vision of the system we need to build, and in some cases, even on like this short period, you can create a prototype if it is like a clickable prototype, if it is required for early stage solution validation. Um, on our side, this process usually takes around 3 weeks, and the first week is really dedicated to current situation, the discovery part. We may run a code review here if there is some legacy system that we need to rebuild or integrate with. We need to run all stakeholders interviews. We need to analyze the processes. All of this would happen on the week 1. And the goal of the week 1 to have like complete visibility and full picture excuse me, full picture of a current state state of affairs. And the second week would be all about the concept crystallization, and we strongly recommend doing it offline. If you run it in your company, bring all of the stakeholders together at least for 3 or 4 days for face-to-face meetings, because we see that it really helps to understand better everyone better, and crystallize the solution. It goes much easier if it's offline and face-to-face. and it is very productive. And the third week is the week when it's time to process all information um, that was received and create all required deliverables. Um, and it may be like as I mentioned, the designs, the prototype, the system architecture, the system backlog, team plan, and all of that. So yeah, this is how we usually run a discovery workshop process, and I hope it will help you in your next transformation. And anyway, if you need help with it, we are always here for you, and we can do it for you. So don't hesitate to reach us out.
Thank you, Jim. It was really helpful, and thank you for insight and share your experience. I want to sum up. So, as we can see, there is a lot of challenges around digital transformation in retail business in 2021. Before we end with the webinar, we have several questions from the audience to answer. And by the way, feel free to add new questions throughout the chat as well. So, the first question I think I can answer. How do you see the future of retail in the next 5 years? Yeah, so thanks for the question. Actually, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic situation just one of many factors, and which drive change in retail operations. And from our research and from our perspective and our experience, the future for retails related with a few new technologies, for instance, drones and robots. Retails will start to investigate new human-machine hybrid operation models. These models are built on the foundation of artificial intelligence and automation technologies to assist human works to streamline and optimizing efficiently their job, which we can see in Amazon, for instance. Uh, I think next one will be in inventory. We think there will be the rise of delicate balance of inventory management, particularly in the store. For example, buy online and pick up in store. Next one, digital workforce. It will be upscaling in store associated to perform a wide variety of specialized tasks. And also new generation of consumers, by the way. Millennials and Generation Z are increasingly aware of the need to reduce their consumption and to help lessen to negative impact on the environment. Consumers' expectations has changed. So, and also last one, I think artificial intelligence. It will play a significant role in the next generation retail. This business through the applications which use artificial intelligence across retailers ecosystems. Retailers applies data analytics into every touch point of their business, in purchase and customer loyalty and analytics and data, etc. Um, Next question. What technologies do you think will play the most significant role in digital transformation? Tim, maybe you can answer for this
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I think I can answer this one. Yeah, so I think if we uh, think more like in short term, because in long term it's very similar to previous question, but if it's in short term, I would say that we will see like during this year's like a couple of previous years we saw a lot of decentralization of the e-commerce infrastructure, like selling through Instagram, and everyone has its own shop. And I think in next couple of years, it would be time for more centralized platforms that would aggregate um, all of these shops to, for example, the shop that aggregates all clothes from H&M and Zara and everything, and or even like all-in-one shop that aggregates everything, similar to what eBay does, but on a very different scale and different vendors. Um, the personalized ads, I think, would play a huge role. This like a face swapping thing, and videos generated on demand with like any face or um, any sound or voice behind it. I think this is where the ads are going. So the very personalized ads, I think, is very close from now. Maybe like deep integration with social networks um, in buying and selling for TikTok and Instagram like platforms. And also, I think the delivery with robots and drones will be really like pretty common in some countries like US in I would say 1 year or maybe 2 years.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, see the next one. I think I can also cover this.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So the question is this: I already have an apparel website, and how much does it cost to develop a mobile app to it, and how long does it take? So this is first of all, this is a pretty common request, and this is pretty similar to um, what I talked about in the first use case when we talk about the luxury mall. So we did just that for them. We connected their online store to this new mobile application, and it is possible. However, the complexity would depend on a couple of things. So the first, we need to know, like it depends on the platform your website is running on. If it's something custom, then you may have some problems. If it's some of the popular ones like Magento or Shopify, these platforms have a rich APIs and like very documented ones. So we can use that to connect to the app. And if it's the case, then it would be straightforward or not complex at least. And if it's not this like widely used engines, then the cost and time would depend, and we would need to run like a something like a quick discovery to see the integration possibilities. So in this kind of a cases, I would say the estimations to like when you can see the first version of the app would be somewhere around 4 months after the start with the medium-sized team. Yeah, and I think we will reach you out with this question or with some more answers to your email in with the direct message to explain all of the details.
Thank you, Jim. Yes, it was really helpful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation and the questions. I believe it is time to wrap up. Unfortunately, we won't be able to cover all of your questions during the session. However, we will send detailed answers to all of you, so please don't worry and just check your inboxes later on. And thank you for your time, and stay tuned for new activities from Intellect Soft. Take care and goodbye.